Welcome to Perspectives, short recordings designed to help your mind step back and see things differently and feel lighter. Just listen and let your perspective shift. So let's begin. This is simply a few moments to shift your perspective. Nothing that you need to fix right now. Nothing that you need to force. This is just a moment for you to step back and look at something differently. And if your mind drifts for a moment, that's completely fine. Sometimes when the mind relaxes, it begins to notice things that were always there. Many people carry a quiet concern, a small voice that says, "What if they don't like me? What if that comment sounded wrong? What if that decision disappointed someone? What if speaking honestly changes the way people see me?" And so the mind begins adjusting, softening opinions, editing thoughts, choosing words carefully in the hope of staying acceptable. And on the surface, that seems understandable because human beings are wired to belong, to be accepted, to feel safe within the group. But sometimes that natural desire quietly turns into something heavier, a constant effort to manage how everyone else feels about you. And that can become exhausting, because when you are responsible for everyone else's approval, you're carrying something that was never yours to carry. So for a moment, consider a different perspective. What if being liked by everyone was never the goal? Because the truth is, no one is liked by everyone. Not the most respected leaders, not the most thoughtful people, not the most generous humans. Every person who speaks honestly, makes decisions, or stands for something meaningful will sometimes be misunderstood, sometimes disagreed with, sometimes simply not liked. And strangely enough, that's often a sign that someone is living authentically. How would it feel if you suddenly resolved to be true to yourself? How would it feel if you find a new way of being comfortable being you? Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem grounded, clear, comfortable in their own skin. They are rarely trying to please everyone. Instead, they focus on something else, being respectful, being thoughtful, being honest about what they believe, and allowing others to have their own reactions, because other people's opinions are shaped by their experiences, their expectations, their preferences, not just by you. So imagine what changes when you release the need to be universally liked. You don't become rude, you don't become careless, you simply become clearer. You may already have started to notice the changes in how you are more you as you relax into this feeling of being true to you. You speak when something matters. You make decisions without constantly second guessing. You allow space for people to agree with you, and space for them not to agree with you. And that space, pause, stop. And in that space, something interesting happens. You begin to feel lighter, don't you? More relaxed in conversations, more natural in the way you show up, because you are no longer performing for approval. You're simply being yourself. And the interesting thing is, when someone stops trying so hard to be liked, people often respond differently. They sense authenticity. They sense steadiness. They sense someone who is comfortable standing in their own thinking. And those qualities tend to create something deeper than approval. They create respect. So as you move through the rest of your day, see what happens if you carry a quieter assumption. Not that everyone must like you, but that you can show up honestly and still belong. That you can speak clearly and still be respected. That you can be thoughtful without shrinking who you are. Because your job is not to manage every opinion around you. Your job is simply to show up with clarity, integrity, and respect. So wherever you go next today, carry this perspective with you. It's not about the need for universal approval. It's not about needing everyone to like you. You simply need to trust the person you are becoming and the version of you who is willing to stand calmly in that truth is already here, even if today you notice it just a little more. And sometimes a small shift in perspective changes far more than we expect.